Hey y'all, welcome to Geek Freaks. I am Frank, and today I'm joined by Kevin.
Hello.
And we have Squeaks.
Squeaks.
All right, no delay. That's good. I appreciate it. Editor Frank appreciates that quite a bit. All right, today we're going to be talking about, we got the One Piece voice actors, we got some Agatha news, we have some casting for Superman, and we are all talking about meta threads, which I think I'm actually with the only two people who aren't on it, probably. So that'll be interesting to talk about.
Yeah.
But first, before we go any further, I want to make sure to mention for the network, we have a whole new Who's Got Next Game podcast coming out on Monday. They're going to be talking about board games and card games. They're talking Hearthstone over there, and I got to say, that's a really good game. If you haven't played it yet, check out Hearthstone. They did screw up the whole battle pass, but it's still worth the play. And then Challenge Accepted just had their Indiana Jones episode come out, and the next episode coming out is, I said they, I'm on it, is going to be a Mission Impossible. We're doing Fallout, but I'm actually going to be doing like the history lesson on Mission Impossible, so you're ready to go for the next movie. And check that out. That podcast is a lot of fun to do. So, and we're raising so much money for cans right now, so it's really cool donating those. Next thing, again, for our patrons, the water bottles have been sent. There was a misprint on them, so we had to do. So some people got their water bottles ready. Those, if you haven't gotten it yet, they're in the way. They're on the way. Let's get into the news. All right, first off, One Piece, the live-action adaptation, is going to feature the original Japanese actors. Squeaks, have you watched One Piece?
I do. Yeah. Have I watched it? Yeah, all 1,000 episodes? No. So yes, I do watch it.
Nerd.
Wow. Okay, so if I did already, or this early already in the podcast.
That's hot. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't say anything about having the original Japanese voice acting on it because I don't watch it in Japanese. I would watch it dub, so I'll probably get some hate on it for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Have we all seen the trailer though? You seen the trailer for?
I kind of am excited based off that trailer.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, actually, yeah. I'm fairly impressed with it. And usually, that anything that Netflix comes out with, I feel has been really successful. Even though we started talking about this actually before the podcast, but Witcher, we're kind of dragging our feet on.
Yeah.
Finishing all of it, but when it first came out, it was great. So, I thought the trailer looked good. I'll give it a shot. I'm not a big fan of these live action adaptations, but this one looks good. I like it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it just because I have not watched any One Piece. So this is going to be my introduction to it all. And I think that's going to be a good advantage to me. But there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, this isn't exactly how Luffy looks. And what are you going to do? I mean, I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, well, what the fuck, man? It's a cartoon. So.
Yeah. People complain about his CGI stretching. And I'm like, no shit. CGI stretching has never looked good.
Yeah. Can you fuck? Well, let me know when he can do it in real life, That's the CGI. So
I'm kind of worried about it a little bit because I actually was one of the 3 people that enjoyed the live action Cowboy Bebop that Netflix did. And that's with having almost no background watching any anime whatsoever. So I had not seen Cowboy Bebop before, but I liked the live action. I just don't really have much hope for One Piece doing any better than that did on Netflix.
Man, you know what? And I feel like a lot of people were just dogging the Cowboy Bebop, and that hopefully is not something that will transfer over to One Piece being canceled after one season just because of people hating on it. Because I thought Cowboy Bebop was pretty entertaining as well. I had really no issues with it.
I'd like to thank you, Kevin, and one other guy are like in this checks group for fanboys of Cowboy Bebop from Netflix. It's a hard thing to do is to make a anime adaptation. I think Lupin's done pretty well for Netflix. But other than that, I can't really think of anything else that's been a successful adaptation. Yeah.
I think it's just tough because it's just beloved characters that we've watched for so many years. I mean, almost how it sounds exciting when someone tries to revamp or make a live action, but then I think also it just needs to stop at where it's at because we're altering what we fell in love with. So maybe it's just not meant to be all these remakes. That
might be how you get new fans. Like I'm cool with them. About to say like M. Night Shyamalan botched their bad, but like for The Last Airbender, I'm cool with them making some changes for the Netflix version if it gets more people to like check out this incredible story, and it might be the introduction for them. Just like Game of Thrones, like people didn't know about the Game of Thrones books. A lot of people didn't know about them until the show came out. Then people went and read the books and like, holy cow, there's a whole bunch there.
And if it fails, they could just pull a Paramount Plus and just cancel it after a season and a half and just pull it off of the thing altogether, like they did with Prodigy.
So stupid.
Star Trek Prodigy.
Yeah, exactly. Hashtag save Star Trek Prodigy. I haven't even watched it yet, guys. So I was like, I'm going to let it build up a little bit because Star Trek's really good when you binge it, especially like, God damn, that Picard season 3 is unreal how good that is. And then they just like canceled it on me and pulled it. Like I can't even watch it at all right now. So I'm going to be buying the Blu-ray, I think.
Yeah. I think the Blu-ray is practically sold out.
Oh, people have been posting it like nuts. Yeah, I don't blame them. Dang, I should have got on top of that. Actually, I'm thinking about
It's
it.
wild that they pulled it.
But yeah,
So actually, I did not know that. Why wouldn't you just leave
They
it?
Tax
chalk
write-off.
the whole thing to a loss for a tax write-off. Yeah.
I know. I hate when big business gets in the way of just like good creative content. Like it's just so frustrating. I mean, God,
you don't have I mean, I don't know finances, right? But like you don't have enough already from all the other hundreds of shows or whatever you have on Paramount Plus. You already probably make millions off of fucking Paw Patrol. So,
well, I want to know Paramount, how much of your money comes from Star Trek? Paramount Plus. I want to know how many people are subscribed because of Star Trek. I guarantee you, Trekkies. It's so funny. Thomas is just now joining the Trekkies, and he's like, I can't believe how many super fans are. I'm like, trust me, there's a lot. But it's like I'm only signed up because of Star Trek. It's the only reason you have me. Don't start canceling that shit.
Yeah, us Trekkies are the people that had before Paramount Plus existed.
Yeah.
1000%.
Only thing on All Access besides their like Survivor and stuff was Star Trek. So you can watch Big Brother, Survivor, or Star Trek, and I just happen to watch Star Trek. So
yeah, oh man, and it's just a shame. That's one of the few like full DVD collections I've got. Is like every Voyager, pristine, blah blah blah. Yeah,
I need that. I don't have that.
Yes, you do. I even have a lot of the next gen. I got to finish the next gen collection as well. Moving on to the next one here. Barney has a film coming up. It's going to be an adult-oriented film, A24 type is what they're saying. Now, Mattel's kind of like, they said they have like, I don't know, 50 projects coming up for their upcoming movies. We see the Barbie movie. We see what they're doing with that. This one's going to be a dark, gritty story about Barney, apparently. It's going to be dealing with being 30 years old, being single, and all your nostalgia being in the 90s. Clearly, it's made for me. And I'm wondering what other Mattel products can they actually do? Like, I would like to see what else they could, like a Uno themed movie might be decent. I don't know. What do you guys think?
What do they own?
I was going to say, is Hot Wheels Mattel?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so two things I want to see. I want to see a Hot Wheels movie. Fucking wild, right? You already feel like we have that right at Fast and Furious.
That's what Fast and Furious should have been, yeah.
Yeah, I want to see some wild ass looking cars just going nuts on these tracks, right? Little like loopy loops. But also, correct me if I'm wrong too, Masters of the Universe. I believe they have some.
Oh, dude.
Mattel owns them, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Gosh, because the reason why I know this one, because I'm into the Revelations, I believe is what it's called.
Yeah, it's good.
Also, I have a little spot on my shelves here dedicated for He-Man and whatnot. But
of course,
they're opening a theme park in Arizona, and it's a Mattel theme park, and there's supposed to be rides that are dedicated to all their like Barbie Land. Actually opens next year. And He-Man was in it with some laser tag shit or something like that, whatever it was. But I would love to see a badass He-Man movie.
He-Man has a gigantic set of lore too. People,
Yeah.
more than just.
I was recently watching these old episodes, really old, whatever, 70s, 80s, whatever it came out originally.
Yeah.
And they're simple, but I mean, like you said, there's a big lore to it when you go deeper into it. I mean, deeper dive.
Yeah.
They own so much.
Well,
Yeah.
give us some highlights.
They own Mega Blocks, which that I think would be interesting to see if they could make a spoof of Lego.
Yeah,
Mega Block is a spoof of Lego in and of itself. But they have like all these board game rights that I didn't realize that they had, like Apples to Apples, Astro Blast. What the hell is that?
they could make like a movie based off Sorry, and it's like a Departed style betrayal mafia movie, and you're
Done
just
by A24.
yeah, Sorry, and you're like sniping people in the head and stuff like that.
Or make it hell like dark and gory and do it by Blumhouse.
There we go.
The next Sorry movie.
I'm starting to trust Blumhouse more than A24 nowadays.
Dude, I love Blumhouse.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of A24.
So a monster movie, but instead of monsters like Godzilla, it'd be a Godzilla style movie, but they're Rock'em Sock'em robots.
Bro, yeah, or Real
Dark
Steel.
and gritty.
Yeah.
Rock'em Sock'em robots.
Pacific Rim. Yeah.
Oh man, that's
there.
good.
You go.
All right, Mattel, I'm down for you guys creating a shared universe. It's gigantic. I'm cool with that. So we'll see what happens. All right, moving on here. We got Agatha, Coven of Chaos has been confirmed to be an actual sequel to WandaVision and not just a spin-off of it. And what I can't remember her name, but the star, one of the stars from the show, clarified that they're going to be doing the American Horror Story vibe, where each season is going to be a completely different story and completely different cast sometimes, or like different roles or whatever, but still going to be within the same long story. You know what I'm saying? So this one's WandaVision, or we have WandaVision for the first one, Agatha for the second one. Next one might be about White Vision. It might be about Monica, somebody that comes up in this one. We don't know. That'll be a whole new thing.
That's an interesting way of keeping the show going while not making it a direct sequel, because people get tired of sequels, I think, at this point. So like keeping the same kind of feel and general story going, but with a different name and kind of a different setting and stuff, the American Horror Story style. That's a really cool way of keeping it going. And I think it's a fresh way of keeping Marvel stuff not super stale,
which they need help with right now. I think we're all kind of getting a little worn out on them. It reminds me of Black Mirror. Like Black Mirror, I think if they were all connected, it would be a lot harder for us to enjoy it as much as we do now, because like the new season of Black Mirror came out. 2 of the episodes, phenomenal. The rest were okay. And we're okay with the okay episodes because we got the 2 phenomenal ones and they're not connected. If they were connected, that'd be a problem. You know, I think we got the same thing going on here. Any thoughts on that, Squeaks?
I just feel like with it being a different story each season, if we're going to get the same feel that we fell in love with the season 1 itself, that mystery and what was really going on with the universe that Scarlet Witch created, and that was like something that we would slowly find out, like a detective in a way ourselves. Now, with the Agatha, they're not going to be in this dome anymore, right? So
yeah, but she'll still be living her life as the person who was in the dome.
So we are going to be like backdating it, then, is what you're saying, kind of like of her side of what happened, you think? Or is
it sounds like it's going to be a continuation, but at the end of WandaVision, Agatha was manipulated into thinking that she's still like the neighborhood person. So we're going to see her discovering that she's actually a supervillain as she's living it out. So we might see I would like to see a Truman Show type of thing with her. Like she's realizing that there's certain people who are like watching her more than normal, and then you find out, oh, it's S.H.I.E.L.D. keeping an eye on somebody they know is very dangerous. Oh. But, they could have fun with it.
I don't know. I'm done. I don't know. I'm the worst to talk about this lately because I'm just like fatigued out. I tried watching Scrolls, and I have my my negative thoughts on watch after the first episode. So
you got to watch more than the first. I think Secret Invasion is one of their best shows yet. The acting in that series is phenomenal. Watching Ben Mendelsohn and Samuel Jackson go toe to toe, it's just blowing me away how good the acting is in that show. It's really incredible.
My thing is with my like hate towards superhero stuff lately is that once Emilia Clarke was explaining that, oh yeah, if we stay in this form so long, we're like undetectable or whatever the fuck, right? She was trying to explain.
Yeah, and
I'm like, that's just a cop out way of saying you don't want to wear the makeup and shit like a Jennifer Lawrence. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Look, like, obviously.
That's what it is. I get it. Not going to transform once at all. Like, you guys are so cheap ass.
Obviously, you knew that was going to happen. There's always going to be why is Ben Mendelsohn talking to them in human form when he's obviously Talos? And it's like, I get it. It's a lot cheaper to just say, like, I'm a human right now. There's got to be a reason for it,
This is stupid. Anyway.
But it is very good. The only thing I'm worried about is the next episode we'll probably see full on Super Scroll. And I hope that doesn't look terrible because you will see. That's a tough one. And we've been talking about our Challenge Accepted. We're reviewing every episode. Go check it out, guys. But I'm like, where's the Empress? And I think Sonya, who's been just blow your mind away good, is going to be the Empress because she's a real big character. And I'm like, she needs to be in this already. So I think she's been in it the whole time. And I think Rhodey's definitely a Skrull. It's more and more proof that he's a Skrull too. So that'll be biggie.
I'll try.
You gotta give it a shot. Let me know how you like it. You can skip the AI intro though. That thing's garbage. Speaking of AI, Steam mods reportedly blocking games that use AI generated artwork. What do you think about that, Kevin?
I honestly, I could go either way about it. I was thinking, putting myself in the position of like an indie dev that doesn't have any art skills whatsoever. If I could program a game and could easily and didn't have the money, I'm just a person just making a video game by myself, didn't have any budget, no money. Obviously, AI generated art is an easy go-to option if you don't have the funds to hire an artist to do it the right way. I don't understand why they'd block it outright. I get the hate towards it, but I don't understand blocking.
feel like it might be soon copyright problems because like AI generated art is learning from real art or not real art, but anyways, you already made art. And so they're saying like this might become a problem at some point, and we don't want a lot of people tying up their entire libraries with AI generated work. Okay. Then eventually we have to pick apart at some point. So like let's ban it now. Yeah.
Assuming that Valve was doing this out of the goodness of their heart towards artists was an error on my part. They're doing it
correct
to save themselves in the future. Okay. That makes a lot more sense to me. That's the Valve move. Okay. That's the corporate move.
Yes.
I get it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now I even understand it from the having the back of artists perspective. I definitely understand that. And that's a really good perspective to come at it from. I just don't necessarily like blanket blocking anything.
Yeah.
Typically.
We're in a very complicated time right now with AI and learning how to use them properly and when it's best to use them, when it's not best to use them. And I mean, I use AI. We were just talking about this over on Threads, which we'll be talking about Threads later on. I use 3 different AIs for our podcast all day, every day. I use them quite a bit and more so in other places. And there's a difference between just like letting it do your work and also doing the work yourself. And I think we're starting to figure that out. And you're right. For game designers, I wonder like, what's the justification? Like the background seems like a really good place. Just use AI art, something like that. You know?
Yeah, or even for art that's like used until you can, like a placeholder. That's what I was gonna say. Placeholder.
Yeah, for early access.
Yeah, I've definitely tried delving into game development myself and just being able to program, but not be able to see anything visually represented on the screen accurately throws off my perception of what I'm doing because I don't have any artistic skills whatsoever. Wow, so if I'm trying to make like this character move, but it's just like a blue square on a gray background, I can't quite get the feel of what it's supposed to look like. And having placeholder art is great. And if you can't afford one of the asset packs for placeholder art, just have an AI generate something for you. But then don't put it on Steam at that point.
True, that's true. But I really like the way you put that. That really is kind of using it as a and then at some point, you hire the right artist to make the look you want. Yeah, I think that's a really good idea.
That's kind of the same argument that people use against having placeholder art asset packs anyway. Because stores from like Unity and Game Maker Studio, they all have asset packs that you can download on their marketplace. People make these generic assets, upload them to the store, and then they get a cut of whatever people buy them with, and they have the rights to use them in their game. But then you get the same, model, the same animation, the same character, the same code in multiple different games that people don't edit themselves. And said for this AI stuff, if people generate something and don't modify it after the fact to fit their game, to fit the narrative of their story that they're telling or whatever, that's a problem.
Yeah. And even there, you're like, okay, well, somebody got paid because they made that asset pack. And so there's a step that's missing there too.
Yep. Fair.
So, well, we got to hammer it all out, guys. It's a mess, but again, we frequently use it and we're always up for discussing it and stuff like that. And yeah,
you're gonna have to show me how you're using that because I wasn't like really interested in this AI stuff until I started hearing Freddie Mercury doing covers of other songs. Like My Heart Will Go On.
Elvis.
I was like, what the fuck? This guy can sing any song. I don't care. So
Elvis like doing Baby Got Back. Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah.
I was like, dang, Freddie. Oh man, my whole like playlist right now is just Freddie Mercury doing covers.
Well, yeah, and like you could have the ex-presidents and current president all playing Call of Duty together, and it's like the most popular freaking stream right now is the president's playing, and then just the shit talking and stuff like that. But I brought it up for the parents because they couldn't believe that like, so I was trying to warn them, like, guys, I'm telling you right now, like, if you hear me ask for money over the phone, it ain't me, so just don't listen to that person because my voice is out there clearly. And and then I was showing them like, it's this easy. Look, that's not Trump versus Biden playing Call of Duty. They're not Call of Duty fans. Yeah. And they're like, I can't believe how much he sounds like exactly. So don't listen to it. But yeah, it's just amazing. But yeah, we use it a lot for our show notes is so key. And I was trying to explain that to some of the other guys. We've been doing a weekly spaces where we talk about podcasting. And that's one of my big things is like use ChatGPT, use Bard to SEO optimize your show notes so that your podcast is more searchable, all back of house stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of things like that we definitely do. Like we're all looking at the outline, right? I'm going to literally take this outline, tell ChatGPT, hey, I want show notes based off this outline with SEO optimization, use markdown format if I put it in our website, and it'll do what I need it to do in a way that doesn't sound like Frank sucks at writing again. So that'd be nice.
Well,
Why? You could just pay a writer.
Totally fair.
Stupid.
Totally fair. Again, guys, go check out Challenge Accepted with the AI cover. that cover that you know what though, you know what, I got to give myself props on that. Actually, that is an AI generated cover, but it's multiple pieces of art that I then took in Photoshop and took pieces and pieces of to make a whole new piece of art. So it was actually me that made it. That's what I'm telling myself. All right, let's go ahead and move on to some of our bigger topics here. James Gunn cast David Cornsweet and Rachel Bronsonnaha, I never say that right, as Superman and Lois Lane. Now, I know you know Rachel. What do you think about this casting?
Oh man, I cannot wait to see Rachel play something else that's not like Miss Maisel, right? And really see if she can make herself more broader, I guess, in her acting career. So I'm super excited to see this.
Frankly, I think Miss Maisel is actually a really good Lois Lane. So I don't think she needs to broaden herself too much.
Yeah, but I can't do the smart alecky remarks like every sentence.
That's what Lois Lane does, though.
Man, it's like, have you finished Miss Maisel?
Nope. I haven't finished it yet. So
I'm almost there. I got like 4 episodes left, but
yeah,
it's starting to kind of feel like, okay, fuck, let's end this shit now. But I love Miss Maisel. I'm excited to see her in something else though. And I think visually for Superman, you got a skinnier Henry Cavill. Okay, if you look at his portrait, he does have that look, that chisel jaw look that I've always said Henry Cavill has. Like, is my Superman forever. So I think visually, also I love him in Hollywood, which was, thank
God somebody else has seen Hollywood. How good is he in Hollywood, dude? Yeah. That to me was like, that's Clark Kent right there. Cause he kind of has that kind of like happy-go-lucky, like, sure, I'm in a Hollywood scary place, but you know, I'm from Iowa type of thing, which I'm like, perfect.
Yeah, man, I love him in Hollywood. He looks visually like a Superman, especially in Hollywood when he's wearing that uniform and he just looks proper, right? Mm-hmm. And I think this is good. I think and we got 2 characters that'll last a long time playing these roles. Hopefully. So
I think so too. Yeah, Hollywood too, like, you know, you definitely get the Clark Kent of it more than the Superman part of it, I think, in a way. If you try to imagine him as a beat reporter, I'm like, oh yeah, totally. This guy's totally a beat reporter that's like trying to get the scoop, and then he's up there being Superman. And it has me interested to see, you know, how's he going to interact with the Batman? Because that character, that actor, I like to see him play alongside somebody who's a little dark and brooding. Even like if we're just going with Robert Pattinson as a stand-in, I think that's going to be a really good fit. Have you seen Hollywood yet, Kevin? 2020?
No, I haven't seen any of the movies or TV shows that either of these actors have been on. I did recognize Rachel Brosnahan.
Mm-hmm. Brosnahan, there it is.
I recognize her from Miss Maisel, but Marvelous Miss Maisel, but I've not seen it.
Wonderful show. Both of these are time pieces, are period pieces, and the Hollywood one I think is like 8 episodes, and that's the entire thing. It's a miniseries. It is a idyllic version of Hollywood where what if everybody was just cool with all civil rights. It's really interesting how they do it. Like it's you gotta watch it. It's hard to kind of explain, especially on the podcast, but it's a really neat show, and just they put a lot of money into making it look like old school Hollywood. So it feels good.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And I'm just happy to see James Gunn, the way he's talking about the Superman project, the way he's talking about how like it's all about Clark Kent trying to justify his Kansas upbringing with his like, oh yeah, I'm basically royalty from Kryptonian, like he's so rich over in Kryptonian, and trying to justify that. It's going to be interesting to see how he does. I'm down for this. James Gunn hasn't done me wrong yet.
Yeah, true.
All right, so we have Meta's Threads. This is the new competitor to Twitter. First off, let's start with this. Have you guys been using Twitter much lately?
I browse it. I click like on a couple things, but they capped how many tweets you can view now, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, like 600.
Yeah, and the cap's going up all the time in defense of Twitter. I'm a big Twitter fan, right? That's my favorite social media platform. It is breaking in places I don't like for it to break. Like I'm a big fan of posting GIFs. Oh my God, this GIF's not working, so I got to use a different one. There are obviously many problems with Twitter right now as they're going through a bit of a interesting situation. We don't need to go into what's going on 100%, but yeah. Meta launched their Threads immediately, and right away we got the 2 billionaires fighting, and it's like, I don't care about that part, but I think the advantage to Meta is you pull over your Instagram followers immediately. As soon as you sign up, you say like, yeah, you know, I'm from Instagram, And then if somebody signs up that's your Instagram follower, you guys automatically follow each other, which has been so nice. Because then I don't have to sit there and find like, send me your tag or something like that. It's all following pretty well. And it feels like Twitter day one. Like it's just small and fast and cool. And I was talking about this on TikTok where it's the first time in a long time where I'm like, hey, you like comic books? Let's talk about comic books. Like that kind of interaction over social media. I mean, it's been ages since I've had that kind of interaction over social media. So I've been having a lot of fun with it. Have you guys been tempted to try out Threads yet?
No.
No.
No. I don't use Meta's stuff at all. And I tend to not use Twitter if I can avoid it also. It's kind of a, Penguin or Lex Luthor. Which one would you rather side with sort of thing? And I just don't have an answer for that. That aside, I just don't have much of a use in my daily life for social media. I like to keep up with stuff, but even that's been harder than the last 6 months or so for me.
Of course,
life is very busy. But
well, you're getting it from all angles. Yeah, I don't have any. There's no blame on that for sure.
Yeah. Actually, I'm on the same boat. I'm in a slow decline of all social media. I read more now. Okay, when I'm taking a shit, I don't watch Instagram anymore. I'm 200 pages in deep of Jurassic Park. Okay, so
ooh, Michael Crichton, like actually reading the actual book.
Yeah, the actual book. Yeah,
nice.
Way more gruesome, a little darker than the movie, which is nice. But I'm if you're saying it's like an improvement to Twitter, if we get to that point, I'm down to try it out. The fact is, I really do. I'm not always on Twitter, but I do enjoy Twitter the most because it is just quick information.
Yeah.
And it seems a little bit more, at least for what I follow. I try not to keep like what do you say, like the hit? I don't know, the trends or whatever. Whatever I follow on Instagram is more. My Twitter's more businessy, I guess you could say. So it's
very
like
well
quick
put.
News that I'm getting.
Yeah.
And then that's something I don't ever want to lose. So if Meta is an enhancement to that, then yeah, I'll try it out.
One of the things I've had a hard time with is who am I on social media, right? Because not only do I have my I want to post personal stuff, but also I got to run the podcast stuff, right? So it's hard to figure out like who I am. So like on Twitter, I have personal account for, dog pics, which is 90% of what I post on my personal account. And on the other one, it's like, hey, here's the latest thing about, James Gunn. Instagram is mostly the James Gunn side of things, mostly just showing the stuff going on with the podcast. Because I don't know how to use it well. And Facebook, God, I'm just automated. I'm very bad at Facebook. I'm starting to practice stories now. I'm realizing the stories and reels is where it's at. I guess nobody cares about posts anymore. I didn't know that. See, I'm new to this stuff.
I do. It's like we're using Snapchat now on Instagram.
Basically
that over.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm kind of find myself doing that too. Instead of doing actual posts, I could just do the stories, and I kind of enjoy that a little bit more because it's less work really. Like people that follow you, if they want to see it, they see it. I don't need to hashtag anything. I'm not trying to like blow it up or whatnot.
Right.
So
the hashtag thing too, like again, talk about AI stuff. It's a nuisance. And that's one thing is Threads does not have hashtags. It doesn't have any of that. Which is because it's small and new. So like it doesn't have a trending page, but they have said that like we're going to put in the chronological order feed soon. And we're going to put it in the for you and the people you follow feed separately. So you could see like just the people you follow. That's all coming in like the next week or so. That'd be nice. But over on Threads, I've decided, you know what? It's a new platform. Let's try something new where I just kind of combine the two and show more personal life and podcast life. So I'm posting pictures of Funko Pops. I immediately showed a picture of my Keyblade that sits next to me. I had to make sure to show that off. And it's like, okay, I kind of like this. I kind of like that I get to just do whatever on this one, just to kind of experiment. And I think that'll influence how I treat Twitter and Instagram in the future. So it's kind of nice to try something new. And overall, I think really TikTok's the new social media king. TikTok's really feeling like it's fast paced and quicker. And there I have what I like to post professionally. And then I'm probably going to start another account too, where I post dog pics eventually. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I like that social media. So if you guys are joining joining Threads, check us out, guys. The link will be in the description, or just look up Geek Freaks Podcast. It's literally that. I was quick enough on that to get a decent name. So thank God. All right, guys. So that's it for us today. We're going to be going off into our recommendations. We have the Steam Summer Sale. When this comes out, you have 2 more days to buy what you can on the Steam Summer Sale. It's been decent. The one game that I really am endorsing is Octopath Traveler. It is a dense game. Like, to do just the main quest is 60 plus hours. And you get to play as many different characters. They all feel very unique. And it's a very old school RPG. Feels like Final Fantasy or something like that. So if you're looking for a good game to get, Octopath Traveler number 1 is $30. Number 2, I think, was 45. If I remember correctly, I didn't get number 2 yet. I'm just going to be the first one first. But there are a lot of other good ones on there too. All like all the Assassin's Creeds are like $8 to $15. You can't pass that up. All right, Kevin, what's your suggestion for the week?
I would recommend also from the Steam Summer Sale, just because I haven't been playing anything. I'm going to recommend Dead Cells and Hades. They're both 50% off right now. If you haven't played either of those games, they're must play. Hades was my game of the year that it came out.
Yeah.
Dead Cells was like next to my game of the year that it came out. I think they both came out. 2018 is when Dead Cells came out. Dead Cells is still coming out with new content even to this day. They're coming out with just came out with some Castlevania branded DLC not too long ago.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. I need to pick that up actually. I'm gonna grab that next.
They're both $12.49 right now on sale on Steam.
I'm grabbing that myself. Hades is a must buy. That game was so good that it's one of those things where it's like, all right, anything Super Giant makes, I'm buying. Just because it's going to be okay at least. Yeah, Hades is super good. All right, Squeaks, what's your recommendation for the week?
Yeah, so my recommendation is actually going to be Final Fantasy 16. I know that's obviously just fairly recent, but what I love about it is that it feels massive. Like, it's one, they developed this crazy universe, but this universe almost feels like it's a Game of Thrones feel. Not because I'm just saying it's that time frame they're trying to mimic, like that whatever knights and whatnot.
Yeah,
but the story between characters and how they communicate with each other, that it does seem political, and there is like some backstabbing moments, and some like funny, like laughter scenes, but then mixed with like holy shit, like these people are dying kind of scenes. Now, I will say there's a little bit of the Kingdom Hearts 3 feel. There's 12 hours of cutscenes in this game. So you most definitely feel in the beginning, as it develops the story, that you're like, okay, you do a little bit cutscene, but the thing though is that, man, the story is so good that I'm locked into it. I will say within like the first 2 hours of Final Fantasy 16, I had one of the dopest dramatic fight scenes I've witnessed in a video game in the longest time ever.
Wow.
It's not like it was so much of the gameplay itself fighting, but just the build up, the music, it was just wild. So definitely, if you don't have Final Fantasy 16, I know there's other games right now like Tears of the Kingdom and Diablo that maybe kind of veered you off of that. 16 is great. It's wonderful. I love it. It totally makes me want to. I'm like just back into the Final Fantasy universe right now. I'm enjoying it.
It kind of surprised me that Final Fantasy 16 is out right now, and because it's just such a good year for video games, it's not getting the love it normally would.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot it came out a little bit.
Yeah. That's how I feel with Hogwarts. Like, there wasn't enough time before the next game that we appreciated more. And I still got to go back and finish that story and whatnot, but it's like, it's one of my top 3 games of the year for sure so far as of now, Hogwarts. And it's like, man, I didn't even finish this yet because so many other things just released.
What blows me away on that game, dude, I literally this last week was like, I'm going to get back into Hogwarts Legacy. And it's almost exhausting because as soon as I get into it, I keep wanting to do all the side quests. And I have a hard time sticking to the main quest just because I'm like, this is such a cool world. Like, I want to go help you find your cat or whatever the hell it is, Like, it's just, and the combat is incredibly fluid. The combat is so good in that game. It's really good. But Final Fantasy 16, I got to give that a shot because I totally forgot about it actually.
Great.
So that's good. My big thing right now is like, we still have Starfield. We still have Spider-Man 2. We still have all these games coming up. Assassin's Creed Mirage. This is actually surprisingly the best year in gaming ever. It's going to be a tough one for Game of the Year. All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.